451. We're talking championship. Marcus.
Hello. Leeds have appointed a bald man in charge there. Millwall have fallen out with themselves. Wolves are staring down the barrel of relegation, and Cardiff have gone up. They're just a few of the things that we're going to be talking about right now. Let's start about Cardiff.
We've got to start with Cardiff.
Yeah,
Congratulations first.
Congratulations. They've finally done it after 50 years of being out of the top flight. They've been so close in recent years. They've done it. They're up. It must be an enormous relief. But can they do a Swansea and stay?
You know what? It just depends on how much money he's going to get.
Yeah.
It depends on the players, how good the players are now, because you have to look at it and think to yourself that they're going to have to keep the majority of the players they've got.
Yeah.
You know.
And add.
Exactly. You're going to have to add. You look into like Swansea. You know, they nicked Michu, £2 million. That don't come along all the time.
No.
So you know what I mean. They're going to need to buy players that's going to be able to at least keep them in there the first season.
They need a forward. That's goal scorer.
Yeah, exactly. And you find at the Premiership level, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard to score consistently.
Yeah.
And if you've got a goal scorer, you've got half a chance.
Ian?
Well, don't I say?
Well, their owner, Vincent Tan,
Yeah.
worth around £800 million, has said they're going to have maybe £25 million kitty.
Really?
25 million.
You know that the Swansea Cardiff is going to be brilliant
Yeah.
in Wales. It's going to be a nice place to be.
10% of the Premier League is now Welsh.
Is now Welsh. They're going to need to attract players there. They're going to need to pay players money to go there because, yes, you're playing in the Premiership, but you want to play in the Premiership. You don't want to be there struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to come to the Premiership and you want to be not like comfortable.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to be fighting relegation.
It's one of those. If Cardiff come in for you, you're going to think, yeah, they're new in there. Who's their players? Who am I going there to play with? It's going to be, you know. But then you might have the carrot of it's the Premiership. I could go there, impress, and maybe we can do well. But for me, example I was going to use is Jelavic from Everton.
Yeah.
He came and he done pretty well, scored a few goals. But now you look at him and he's really dropped off second season. He looks now. He costs what, $5 million? And
like
you know what I mean. You don't know. You know. I think £5 million is still taking a chance on someone.
Well, very different clubs, of course. Swansea's fan owner, and then Cardiff have got the big owner. It'll be a shame for Cardiff. They've finally got in the league. They won't be playing in their colours and have a different badge.
Well, this is what happens, Marcus. You
Exactly,
get an owner who owns the place. He does what he wants. He's come in. How many years of Cardiff been in blue? He's changed it to red.
Yeah.
And now I'm hearing he wants to change the name as well. What are they going to do? They're going to have to wear red boots next season or something? You know what I mean? He could do whatever he wants. He does what he wants.
He does what he wants.
Vincent Chan, he does what he wants.
Well,
you have to sing like that. When you sing as a fan, you sing. But like, you know, I think that's the problem, Marcus, when you get an owner like that. You know what I mean? He's changed that, so what else is he going to change?
Well, good luck to Cardiff, and well done for finally getting there. If you are a Cardiff fan, you think you need a forward, you don't think you need a forward, let us know. Tweet us at @ball_street or comment below.
Okay, let's talk Wolves. Dean Saunders seem to be edging Wolves out of the danger zone. They've had a little blip recently, only out of the drop zone, on goal difference. Can he save Wolves? He looks like he's not enjoying it for me.
He does look like his press conferences certainly suggest that.
Pretty good.
It was a disaster for them losing at home to Huddersfield the other week. Not a good result for them. Well, interestingly, 12 teams have gone from the top flight to the third tier, or the third tier in successive seasons. Wolves might be the first club to do it twice.
Wow. A double.
That is not a record that they want.
Double.
A double.
Wow.
I do worry for Wolves a little bit. The other week I was saying that they're on the up, but as you say, they have had a little blip, and at this stage in the season, that can be absolutely disastrous. It's a gamble now. It really is just every week is a roll of the dice.
It's one of those where, like Dean, you want someone like Dean Saunders to do well. Young manager, done well for Doncaster. He did bring them up, although he did go down.
Back down, yeah.
But he brought them up, and it's one of those where you think to yourself, should he maybe have stayed at Doncaster? You know, they were top when he left. Should he have stayed there, just got even more experience there, and then you go to a job like, because it is a very, very big job, Wolves. Now, I've heard that he's very good mates with Moxie, who's, you know, obviously through their Liverpool connection, Dean Saunders playing for Liverpool, him being a Liverpool fan and that. And I feel that they're in and around each other, they're close to each other, so he gave him the job because I don't know, maybe because he done well at Doncaster and it's his mate. And it's one of those where he's gone in there and he's obviously seen the size, the enormity of the job that is trying to make Wolves a successful team. You know, it's a massive, massive job. I'm not sure if he's going to do it. You know,
and he sounded so positive when he started, and as you say, that positivity seems to have gone. And he's on a bit of a downer. Yeah,
but that's wins, Marcus. You need wins to give you positive.
But he did have a few wins. They've had a little bit of a... And you just, as a Wolves fan, you are now, must be very, very worried because the end of the season is closing in and they're all down there fighting away. It's such a hard one to call down that end of the end of the league because they're taking off... You know, look at Peterborough. They beat Cardiff and they beat Watford. I think they drew with Brighton.
Yeah.
The results that you would never have thought they got. Or would get. So it's so unpredictable. As we mentioned, you know, Wolves did win a few games. They won last night as well, depending on when you're watching this.
That could turn out to be massive.
Exactly. They're out of the drop zone on goal difference, I think.
Well, they got Charlton away, they got Burnley at home, they got Brighton away. Yeah, Brighton will most probably be going for something.
Yeah. Charlton away is a difficult place
Charlton
to go.
Away, yeah, especially just the hammering teams at the moment.
Yeah, that's right.
Ebanks Blake injured.
Yeah, it doesn't. I say it doesn't look good for them, but you could make so many arguments for the other clubs that it doesn't look good for any of them. So it really is an intriguing one that you just can't take your eyes off, and we will just have to wait and see how it pans out.
Do you think Mick McCarthy's looking in, saying?
Well, no, because he's at Ipswich, so he can't be laughing too much. Well, they've got a lot of their own problems.
Yeah, but he's in a lot better position than Wolves.
I think everybody was agreed that Wolves should never have sacked him, and look at them now. And if you are a Wolves fan and you have an opinion on that, then do comment below or tweet us at @ball_street.
Okay, if you watched last week, you know that I did put myself up for the Leeds job. Obviously, I didn't get it. Instead, Brian McDermott, he got the Leeds job, and we may be now in danger of liking Leeds. Everybody, I like Leeds, but because he's such a nice man. So is Brian McDermott the right man for that job? What do you think, Marcus?
Two things I'd like to say. Firstly, if you're trying to tout yourself for manager jobs, this isn't the platform to do it.
You don't think so?
No. And secondly, I do think it might be a little bit of a myth that people hate Leeds.
I don't know. Maybe it comes back from way back, Revy.
Maybe in the 70s.
You know what I mean? And there was a time in the Leeds period, I remember playing there in my younger times, where it was not a nice place to go to in respects of the way the fans were. But in the main, they sorted themselves out and everything. But it's a massive, massive club. Let's not get away from that. And I think that, yes, he's been fortunate to get a job like that after being out of Reading. Yes, they're in the Premiership. But for me, Leeds, much bigger club, much better possibilities. If they can get some funding, it could be a blessing in disguise for Brian McDermott.
He could be the man to take them up.
How long's he got? How long did he get?
He's got. We don't know.
Computer. What did his computer say?
3 years.
He got.
What about that?
How about that? A talking computer.
That's not bad, is it? 3 years. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a very good deal. We got a tweet here from @RaceMatt, and he says he's very happy. A much-needed improvement on the hoofball employed by Warnock. But whoever in charge needs to push on, needs funds to push on.
Exactly what I'm saying. And if Leeds can get themselves back in and around the Premiership, they'll fill their ground.
Yeah.
It's a place where you would be attracted to go because it's an unbelievable atmosphere to play in. And, you know, you've got a good young manager with a massive point to prove.
Yeah. Well, at Lightning Eddie says that it's now up to our new owners to show their intent in the summer with funds being made available. So there's a lot of talk here from the fans.
Well, it's obvious for me. At Leeds, they've got to a place now where they're kind of stalling. They need investment into the team to kick them on again. And I feel if they don't get that, yes, Brian McDermott, as good as he may be,
but McDermott,
he will only go as far as he can take.
He got Reading out of that league with not too many sort of great players, if you like. I think it's an excellent appointment. I think 3-year deal he's got. They're looking longer term here. This isn't. I think someone like Warnock was get him in and let's see if we can get promoted. It's not quite worked out.
Maybe they took him for the experience that he has in respect of getting a team out.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's also something else worth pointing out. The Leeds Rhino Rugby League club coach is also called Brian McDermott, and they have a player called Ryan Hall, as do Leeds United Football Club. So a nice bit of symmetry, which may have swayed the decision of the Leeds board in getting McDermott in.
Wow, that's spooky.
Do you know what I mean? If you know any more on that, do tweet us at @ball_street and comment below.
This is 451. We're talking Championship. We're talking Millwall. Come on, you lions.
Millwall.
Yeah.
Their fans didn't cover themselves in glory, did they, at Wembley?
I think
In the semi-final
they're getting rough treatment now.
From themselves.
Right, so Millwall's average 10,000.
Yes.
Okay, then they had what, 30-odd thousand there, and they were fighting amongst themselves. There's people who have gone there, Marcus. Marcus, I went there. Used to go there when I was 9 till about 14. Right, I'm 50 now.
No way.
I am.
You look fantastic.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
But the fact is, that's beside the point. Of course I do. Yeah. The fact is that I've got people who used to go when we was younger, who are that age. They don't go there and start trouble like that. They go every week now. Yeah. Right, now there's people who will turn up at Wembley because it's a big occasion. If they cause trouble, it's going to make massive headlines. Anything what Millwall do, it make headlines. And that's why the main Millwall fans were booing these fans.
Yeah,
and it is a shame. It's a shame, Marcus, because you know Millwall's mantra obviously is to get into the Premiership. Now, if Millwall get into the Premiership, Chelsea, West Ham, Arsenal, Tottenham, these people are going to come again. Yeah, these people are not going on a regular basis. Now, I was getting a lot of stick from Millwall fans on the Twitter saying, yeah, you're jumping on Millwall. I'm not jumping on Millwall. No. At the end of the day, you know, there's people who will continuously come to Millwall when they get an high-profile game and cause that kind of problem.
But no, you are right. I mean, my granddad was a big Millwall fan, you know, and they've always had, and he always used to say that, unfortunately, you get a few people that come along. They have a wide supportership, as we said, with some of the things early on, as you say. And at Wembley, it's going to attract a lot of people who don't normally go down there. But I think it's such a shame, obviously, to see it happen. But it was a televised game. And so if you are your average Millwall fan who doesn't, you know, most Millwall fans, of course, they don't get into any trouble and don't cause trouble, but they must be just so gutted to see again. And it was the fact that it was on television, because you compare it to what happened in Newcastle.
Exactly, good point.
After the
10 arrests, Millwall. There was 10 arrests.
29.
Yeah. And, you know, on the streets, throwing bottles.
But that was like a
punching horses.
We've not seen the likes of it since Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, exactly. Now, can you imagine if Millwall fans punched horses, which when you mentioned Blazing Saddle, it was a powerful image. But at the same time, if a Millwall fan done that, they would go crazy. When you see Millwall, because of their reputation, they got the headlines in respects of like fighting amongst themselves and all that stuff. But Newcastle's, it turned into almost a riot. Yeah, it did. Where did that come from? You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. But like you say, Millwall's the ones that's in people's minds. Millwall. Yeah, no, it's not fair. It's not fair.
If you are a Millwall fan and you want to get in touch, then do tweet us at @ball_street or comment below. Last week we asked you to name and shame the people that you wanted out of your club. This week we're feeling a little bit happier. We're going to be talking about club heroes.
At Stores Ma.
Yeah.
Says Steve Coppell in Wright, Mark Bright. All took Palace to a level.
That's you were in there. You're a club hero.
I feel quite uncomfortable reading that.
Do you feel like a club hero at Palace?
I don't know. They voted me for the player of the century.
Did they?
For last century.
Well, obviously.
Feel very old, but you know, it was great times, because when I went there, you know what I mean, it was all just living the dream stuff. So, and when Mark Bright came along, and he was my big brother, and Steve Coppell was like my father, and that, it was really brilliant. You know what I mean? And we all like started to happen for Palace, all at that right time. And you know, Jeff Thomas came, and all the Solarco came through, Richard Shaw, you know, great stuff. I had great times. Obviously, semi-final, FA Cup final, finished third in the first division. Then, you know, it was just an amazing time.
At Smythe77, he says Sheffield Wednesday's all-time hero is Sir Danny Wilson. Sir Danny Wilson, playing legend, one-time manager, and recently managed to scupper Sheffield United's promotion push.
Oh, that's a bit unfair, but like,
we do talk about him in.
From a Sheffield Wednesday point of view, that must be great stuff for them. At Brenda Smithy, she just simply says Chris Powell at Charlton.
Yeah, big time as a player and a manager.
9th at the minute.
Yeah, doing well in the Championship.
6-0 against Barnsley the other day. Yeah, it was pretty good. First
season in the Championship. He's established them there. And what was really nice with Chris Powell is he got an England call up under Svenigans.
I remember that. Yeah.
Playing for Charlton, which was great. Who else have we got? At Rookery Mike says Graham Taylor and Elton John.
Remember that 1984
the
FA
ultimate
Cup
manager,
final.
Chairman dream team, unsurpassed for Watford. Glorious. We've got one more?
Yes, at Charlie Smith says, got to be Lloyd Doyley. 12 years at Watford, 400 plus appearances, picked by 7 different managers, and solid every week. It's true, we should shine the light on players like that. Lloyd Doyley, obviously a fantastic servant to Watford Football Club. And well said, well said. At _ Charlie Smith.
Well done, Charlie. If you have any more club heroes that you want to tweet us about, then at @ball_street is where it's at.